The Wii U. A Wii, but with a tiny U trapped inside of it. This console sucked. That's it. That's the video. Or did it? I got my Wii U around when it came out in 2012, and I got it with Assassin's Creed 3, Zombie U, and New Super Mario Bros. U. I think like Nintendo Land 2 or something. I don't know. Either way, I used my Wii for maybe a week, and then I got bored, and then I just forgot about it. At that point, I just went back to my Xbox, Halo Reach, and then when Halo 4 came out, I played Minecraft and didn't do anything else for about 8 years. Until today. So, let's see if the Wii U was ever any good, and if the long trail of disappointments left behind have made it an actually good, affordable budget gaming console today. So, the Wii U. It's kind of like a prototype Switch, honestly. It's fat, clunky, weird, and really not as portable as it was kind of made out to be. Honestly, I think the controller was the biggest problem with this console. It was just fat, difficult to use, and just not that useful. It also has this horrible piano black material that just scratches incredibly easy and shows every single little speck of dust or hair. It's really annoying. But that's where the Wii U Pro controller comes in. One of Nintendo's best controllers they've made, at least in recent history to me. I don't know, disclaimers. So once you pick up one of these and forget the old fat tablet controller thing, unless it's absolutely necessary, you can really start to enjoy this console a lot more. So once that problem's fixed and you stop trying to put Wii U games in your Wii, you can finally start unlocking the potential this console had all along. Or, well, the potential it had a few years after release, once we got a game or two. That is, once we got a real Zelda game on the Wii U. That's right, after nearly a year, we got The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD. Remember that game from, that you probably still own a copy of that you could play on the Wii? Yeah, that one. You can play it again, but with shadows. Yeah. But you just wait until the next major Zelda release. 3 years later, The Legend of Zelda Twilight. Are you kidding me? A remake from the last generation? What is this? Well, at least we got another 3D Mario game. Like, maybe, I don't know, Sunshine, Galaxy 64, something that can really utilize all of the power of Nintendo's next generation console, and it's just some cat bullshit. Alright, cool. And this was the next problem with the Wii U. The games coming out, they were okay, but they weren't really spectacular. Especially when, you know, compared to the Wii, or even the GameCube, or hell, the N64. Only really later in the lifespan did the Wii U start getting better games, but by that point, it was already basically dead on arrival. No one had it, or wanted it, or used it. It was shit. That's my point. Mario Kart 8, Mario Maker, and Smash 4, some pretty big hitters in the console's life cycle, didn't even come out until 2015, nearly 3 years after the console first released. So if you had hoped and prayed that there'd be good games after release when you got your Wii U, you finally could actually use your Wii U. And if you never actually got one, then honestly it still wasn't worth the $350 for a handful of Mario games and a bunch of remakes. I mean, up until this point, the only original Zelda game was Hyrule Warriors. A good game, yeah, no, don't get me wrong, but not a real Zelda game if we're being honest. This left the first few years of the Wii U being pretty disappointing in my opinion. Even after that, the games just kind of trickled out, leaving me to just kind of sit my Wii U on a shelf and forget about it because the games were just so spaced out. But that's in the past, so let's start talking about right now. Is the Wii U a good deal today? Well, after Nintendo finally started making games for it, there was a decent selection. Nothing like the Wii, mind you, but actually some really solid games. You can honestly get like half the Zelda and Mario games on the Wii U. From Wii games, GameCube remakes, DS games, and what's this, a GBA game? We'll get back to that later. And for Mario, we can play all the Wii games. 3D World, New Super Mario Bros. U, Mario Maker, and Mario Kart 8. Besides that, there were some other great games that weren't from Giant series like Pikmin 3. In my opinion, one of the top 3 Pikmin games. Splatoon, which was just Call of Duty for beginners, but still cool, and Xenoblade Chronicles X. And even Minecraft, for those of you that didn't have a PC, or phone, or tablet, or Xbox, PlayStation, laptop, smart microwave, or maybe you just had a friend with the Wii U, I guess, I don't know. Plus, the best part, all of these games are dead cheap right now. Mario 3D World, for me at least, just 15 bucks. Wind Waker HD, well, a little bit more, but you know, like 25 bucks. Twilight Princess HD, what the fuck? Okay, well, Pikmin 3, 20 bucks. There you go. I mean, Phantom Hourglass is 10 bucks on the eShop, and a good DS Zelda game, also 10 bucks. The list really does go on, and let's say you want to get naughty, well, any Wii game you want to play like Galaxy can be gotten for somewhat cheap too. Now, let's say you're an extreme hacker man. Well, the Wii U, while kind of a pain to mod, can actually play pretty much any Nintendo games once it's modded. Just as a short list, we got Game Boy Advance, DS, and GameCube games. That's right, the Wii U can play GameCube games. Nintendo lied to you, just like they lied to you about GBA games on the 3DS. Maybe I should make a video on that. I don't know. Whatever. I mean, I actually play Sunshine on mine pretty often, and it runs really damn well. I mean, I don't really suggest modding the Wii U unless you know what you're doing, because it can be kind of a pain, especially to get GameCube games to run, but it can be a serious powerhouse of gamer in your living room if you want something cheaper than a PC to play pretty much any game you want. It can also play YouTube. I mean, seriously, this thing can just replace your smart TV and be 10 times better. Except for the tablet, but you know, whatever. Somehow this console went from not batting an eye to still not batting an eye, but being a serious budget beast of a console. If you look locally and actually wait for a good deal, you can easily snag one for the mid-hundreds, sometimes cheaper. Someone I know recently got a Wii U with tablet, Pro Controller, and all the other whatever you might want for about $100. And it was even locally on Facebook Marketplace. I mean, shit. I'm sure they also would have been willing to go lower on the price too if we asked, because no one was really biting on their ad. They were actually kind of desperate to sell it because no one wanted it. I mean, that's as much as you can get a Wii on eBay for a console with, in my opinion, way more potential. So, did the Wii U finally become good after it died? In my opinion, absolutely. I mean, I think the Wii U was never a bad console to begin with. I think it was just kind of a Switch beta that lacked enough game selection and didn't really present good value. It truly needed more than a handful of games to stay relevant. Even if Nintendo just increased their virtual console support and let people play SNES, GameCube, and I don't know, maybe added some more DS games, I think this console could have had much more staying power. It would have been a way better deal. Plus, all these older games could have held people over longer while Nintendo had their 3 interns keep churning out remakes for the console. Plus, with the price tag, I mean, it's hard to say no to this, let's be honest. It's only a little bit more expensive than a Wii and has a decent bit more potential. I won't lie though, if you're getting this just for modding, the Wii is about 10 times easier to mod, and it's free. The Wii U is going to cost you $7 to mod because you have to buy a game on the game shop for one of these exploits to work. I don't know, it's weird. But you have Wii U games, Wii games, anything on the eShop your little heart could desire. Then with mods, you can do Game Boy Advance, DS, GameCube, SNES, NES. I mean, just tons of games on this thing. So, yes, I think the Wii U has become a spectacular console. And even after all of its shortcomings, can still really be amazing. And can be gotten for an extremely fair price. So just go buy one. If you never got to experience it, now is the best time in my opinion to take a look into this console without shelling out a ton of cash. Or I mean, at this rate, just wait for all the games to be remade on the Switch.